Hey guys, Nikki here, and we're back with another community challenge for July. We decided to go back to more of our general themes and go with squads. We all decided to pick units to help us fill out our kill teams, warhammer armies, maybe a unit to get started in another game system. After our last challenge, we really wondered if we could hit 1,000 miniatures this year through the challenge. You'll see some of us really took it to heart. Right now for August, we're doing a finish it month. We are getting those projects out that have been sitting at almost done for too long. It's time to get them off the shelf, get them finished. If you'd like to come join us, we're doing these every month over on Twitch. I'll put that link in the description. Like and subscribe here if you'd like to see other challenges and showcases of everyone's work. But for now, let's dive in for July. If you've not joined us for one of our challenges or showcases, each month we submit a before and an after photo for our projects. The before photo we do with little or minimal paint just to show that we're all starting the same spot. It's a good starting point for the challenge. As we go through these, you'll see a before and after of each. With this month in particular, a lot of people are entering multiple things, so we'll have multiple before and afters for this month. I will also be adding up our totals as we go so that we can do our grand total at the end. So that's what I've got today. We are going to be starting things off with Sad Leviathan. We've seen Sad Leviathan in several of the challenges. We're adding on to the Nids and Gene Stealer cult today. Starting with the Brood Brothers kill team and saying hello YouTube. So here is before one. So this is the kill team. We also have, because the kill team was finished up kind of earlier in the month, decided to add on. So we're going to have some acolytes as well. So here are our before photos before we're getting into painting. And then here is what Sad Leviathan did for the month. So we've got a few different family photos here. We did, I believe, a little bit of green stuff work here to convert this mini. But you can see the color schemes. We've got that red. You can see even in the background that bright pop of green, which I love. Bringing that onto the face, the vials here. You can see all of this color work coming through across the different minis. So we're going to start here and go back to those bright colors. So there are the Nids. So this matches Sad Leviathan's Nid army. So you can see the color scheme for that. Got our little guy here all painted up as well. And then we kind of move back to the troops here. So we've got those acolytes here. More details. I love the work on the banner here. All of the work across here. Our poor guy here on the base as well, bringing in that green just to bring that accent kind of across the army. And then yeah, all of these crazy tools that the Gene Stealer cult get all shown here. Got one more photo, I believe, of the other acolytes. So we got some more colors here for the pants and the different details to kind of set the different units apart. We got another cool banner here up front. And yeah, just a really cool way to bring this color scheme across from the Nids to the Gene Stealer cult, tying this army all together. So between the kill team and then the acolytes, so we had 15 minis and 10 minis. Sad Leviathan bringing 25 to start off the challenge. So like I said, the community really took it to heart. They really want to hit the 1,000 by the end of the year. So Sad Leviathan kicking it off really, really strong. Awesome job. I think I've said it last time, but it's really fun watching your army come together and working this color scheme across it and all the things that you're adding each month. It's really awesome. It's awesome job, Sad Leviathan with 25. Next up, we have Osirin. I mentioned that some of us are dipping our toes into other game systems. Osirin is getting some stuff ready for the other side, which is from Weird Games. So this is the Gibbering Hordes. And they have different units on like unit bases. So there's little guys on each of these unit bases. So here is our starting. These are the striped stalkers for the Gibbering Hordes. And here are some of the afters. Look at this color scheme. I'm so in love with this color scheme. So it is close to the box art Osirin mentioned, but I really love the colors that you picked for it. So this really bright kind of blue-green works really nicely with this kind of shade striping that you did. And then that little pop of red, just they look so good together. Such a cool color scheme and the colors that you went for it. I think this next one is my favorite. I love the pose and like just how clean this color scheme is. Look at him. But he is definitely scary and cute at the same time. So there's another good close-up of these little guys. But I showed you before with a lot of little critters, and here they all are. Look how much Osirin was able to get done this month. So here are all the little guys. I love the basing too. So because there are the like squad bases, you can do the basing on each little miniature and then bring it onto the squad base as well. So bringing on the tall grass, more of the dirt, everything there just to tie them all together. They all look amazing. Really glad that you decided to hop in for this for the squad challenge. Love the color scheme. They look amazing. I don't remember what is in that box, but if you've got another big critter, I'm excited to see that as well. But very cool, Osarin. Glad you went with these for the challenge. I love them. Osarin, with those bases, that is 18 miniatures added into the challenge. So we're already cruising through minis. Next up, we've got Ravenlord. Ravenlord decided to throw in some Terminators that have been sitting for a little bit. So right now we've got some sub-assembly going on with weapons, we've got the heads separate. We also have the little teleport beacon for the Terminators, so all ready to go here as our before. And then here is our after. I love Ravenlord's color scheme for the army. The black with this blue. It's so striking, so clean. Look at all the edge highlights here for both the blue and the black. Also brought in some fun sculpted bases to put them on. Love that. Got some decal work. Such lovely, lovely, like clean details on all of the lenses and things like that. We got a couple different photos here. So we've got from the side. It was a good shot to get the beacon as well, so I want to make sure I include that. We got some OSL coming off the light there in the middle. Very nice. And yeah, just really lovely detail work throughout. All the edge highlighting. We know Space Marines are a lot of edge highlighting. You did an amazing job, Ravenlord, keeping that really nice, really tidy. And now they're done! Got the Terminators out of the backlog. They look amazing. Well done, Ravenlord. Between the Terminators and then that little beacon, that is 6 from Ravenlord. So well done. Thank you so much for joining us for the challenge. Next up, we've got Erebrai. Erebrai also had a couple different ones, so we are starting with some Death Shroud Terminators for the Death Guard. If you've been following the challenges, we've seen a lot of Erebrai's Death Guard as well, so another army that's been really fun to watch come together with the challenges. We also added in some Winter Germans for bolt action. They're going to be painted as a Finnish force, though, so we have 2 different projects here between Warhammer and bolt action. There's our befores. And then our after, here are the Death Guard. So Erebrai's been, like I mentioned, if you want to see more of this army, they're in the previous videos. This very grimy, perfect Death Guard scheme. So bringing in all of the muck for the Nurgly boys here. We've also got the basing that Erebrai has had consistent across the force. So bringing that onto these as well, tying that all in really nicely all together. So well done in finishing up the Death Shroud. We've also got the bolt action. So here is kind of the full family squad, and then I grabbed a close-up too, but here are all of the minis all lined up. So for the full squad, really love the colors that you've gone with, and again, tying it all together with the basing, similar to the Death Shroud, bringing that onto the model as well, so it looks like they are trucking through the muck. And then here is more of a close-up of the minis, so you can see more of the detail going into the fabric on the faces, and then more of that weathering here along the boots. So awesome job, Erebrai, with both of your projects, getting them both taken out. That is 3 Death Shroud and 12 of the bolt action for a total of 15 for the month. Well done, Erebrai. Thank you so much for joining us. They look great. Glad you're able to tackle a couple different game systems too. Very cool. All right, next up we've got Vegeta with a sideways before. But you can see here that still on sprue, that is whip as it gets for a beginning. We have the Warcry Gorger Moss set. So here they are on the sprue, getting ready for work. And then here is what Vegeta's done with them. So here is the crew. I love the color scheme you've gone with. So more of the red skin tone instead of the very pale like they are in the box art, so that they can go with the other forces that you've got. But here they are. We've got circle and square bases, so we can use them in between different game systems. But let's take a closer look at some of these. So here again, you can see more of the details going into all the skin, getting all the shading and everything through here, all of the highlights, all of the all this detail around this face. It's a really cool sculpt with all of the candle work and everything kind of tied around here, but more details there. We've also got, kind of throughout the squad, we've got some details for freehanding. So I'm bringing on some lettering. Here in just a moment, you'll see another detail that Vegeta's been adding in. But another look at all of the textures and cloth and everything we've got back here. And then I mentioned those other details, some little tattooing and things on the arms. Love that, just to make them very unique. And kind of, while you've got the squad, you've still got those little things that make each of them unique, which is really cool to see. More of the details here. And then we also had, I brought up this miniature because we had more of the details on the back too, so you can see all the clean work through all the details for the skull, and just all these different things that are on these units. So for these, Vegeta is adding 5 of the Gorger Flagellants to the army and to the challenge. So thank you so much for joining. They look great, and yeah, I like the color scheme that you went with other than the, rather than the box art that they did. I think this will tie in nicely with what you've got. Very cool work. Alright, next up we've got Scott, who decided to hop in with another warband for Bushido. So this is the Kenshi Temple. And all here you can see, I believe they are all metal for this warband, but they are all ready here, ready to roll. Got some primer on some still in the metal. And then here is our after. So really cool scheme across the board. Getting those black highlights can be tough, so kind of getting that worked out and across the entire group here looks really nice. But then adding in these little pops of blue and purple as well. So for the robes, for the kind of magic effect here. I think I noticed, I think I may have been missing a base when I did a count. We may be, our count might be off by 1 back here. But some really cool work here for our crew, and another ready for Bushidos. Looks like basing and ready to roll for Bushido. So Scott is adding, I counted 10, but that might be 11 there on this side to our challenge. Thank you so much for joining. They look great. And then next up we have Confurioso. Confurioso is also someone who decided to take the 1,000 minis by the end of the year challenge to heart. Decided to start with some Necrons. And then with the Necrons completed, decided to hop to Sylvaneth, and then decided to keep adding on to Sylvaneth. And by the end, oh, sorry, one more. Even more Sylvaneth. And by the end, we had 4 completed projects from Confurioso. So there's our before, and then here's our after. Here is our first. So these are the Scorpex from Confurioso. I missed this little guy too. We got 3 Scorpex and then the, I believe it's the Plasma Sight back there in the back. So that is 3 all worked up. I really like this color scheme. I like the chipping that we've done on all of the weapons. So got all of that in there. You can see the weathering here, bringing in kind of those brown washes here to add some more depth. And then you've also got kind of the mixture on the metallics themselves, so kind of pull out different parts based on the washes that we're using, which is really cool. I like the more flat here on the blades, and then keeping more of the shiny on them gives some cool contrast too. And then getting to the Sylvaneths, we've got some Dryads here. Lovely work here on all of the bark, bringing in all the different greens, integrating them together. All the flowers for the basing, lovely, lovely. And then we also moved on to the Kurnoth Hunter. So again, you can see those same kind of army schemes being pulled across. Love the blue we've brought in for the weapons. And just tying this all really nicely together. And then our last for Confurioso are the Tree Revenants. So we've got 5 here with the banner. And same thing, bringing in this really lovely scheme across the entire army to bring it all together, and it looks really nice together for the tabletop. So well done, Confurioso. Between the Scorpec Destroyers, the Dryad, the Kurnoth, the Tree Revenants, and a little Plasma Sight that I accidentally left off there, that should be 22 miniatures, but I will double check here for our grand total. Well done, Broso, getting all of those projects knocked out for the backlog. That is insane. You came back to the hobby in a big, big way. So awesome job getting those completed. They look amazing. Next up, we've got Spilled Paint Pot. Spilled Paint Pot made a note that this was for Silver Bayonet, which I was not aware of, so I had to look that up. Apparently, that is a gothic horror game. So if anyone is interested in that, wants to check it out, again, Silver Bayonet, but here are the miniatures for that. And then here they are, all completed. So these look great all together. I like that you have kind of a unifying scheme, but then they all have their individual things. So still bringing in the little pops of red and green to kind of tie these together. Just bringing this color scheme all together. And then yeah, you can see kind of the overall influence for the game in the sculpts themselves. So bringing in some of the details here with the weapons and kind of the overall theme. I think they look amazing together. I don't know if this game, I feel like this game would be just this warband, but I'm not as familiar with it, but they look so good. You'll have to let us know how the game plays, because I'm interested. I'll have to look up more later. For Silver Bayonet, Spilled Paint Pot adds 7 to the challenge. Well done. Next up, we have another heavy hitter for the the challenge here. We are starting with Sly. This is Sly set a challenge of the new Skaven Tide box. Wanted to tackle the clan rats from that. So that released in the middle of the month. So beginning of the month, Sly was like, well, what am I going to do until then? Decided to get some corn out. So we've got 10 here to start the challenge. And decided to get those ready before the box, which, of course, Sly did. So here are our corn boys all painted up. We've got 10 that we have started with, so all ready to go. But then Skaven Tide hits, and it's time for clan rats. So right after finishing corn, Sly gets ready with all these clan rats. So there are 40 in the box for Skaven Tide, is why you see so many rats on this table. But Sly says, no problem, I'll take care of those too. So here they are with the corn. We've got a growing family photo here for the challenge for Sly with 40 clan rats, 10 corn, and then decided, not done yet, decided to add in the Jezzails. So back here we've got 3 more, and then some of the Stormcast as well. So these are the, I didn't note what unit they are, but we've got 10 Stormcast also joining the count. And I think it came down to the final day, but Sly got those done too. So the final tally for this, for the corn, all the clan rats, the Jezzails up here at front, and the Stormcast, that is 63 miniatures completed for Sly for July. Well done, you crushed it. You made a gigantic dent in our goal for getting 1,000 by the end of the year. So well done, Sly, and your 63 minis. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, next up we've got Country Cow. Decided to throw in some Hellblasters for the Salamanders. So here is the unit all together here. So we started with 10, we ended the month with 5, but these look amazing. So we've got 5 here for Country Cow. This is, I believe Country Cow has mentioned using the speed paints. So it has this really lovely green that we're using across the Salamanders. I also really love that you do the orange on the pauldrons. It looks really, really cool. Really nice work with blending on the flame here. We've got the pop of blue from the plasma. We've got the lava bases, which are always fun for Salamanders. So awesome job getting the unit here of 5 together, and I'm sure those other 5 are right behind them. They look amazing. Thank you so much for joining us and getting them into the challenge. I also love that you do the black backpacks too. It looks really nice and helps break up the color a bit too. So awesome job. Love your color scheme for them, and they are coming along really, really nicely. Awesome job, Country Cow. All right, next up we've got Grim One. Going back to some Age of Sigmar here, we have, this is actually from Underworlds. This is one of these Skaven warbands. So here they are primed and ready to go. And here they are after. Look at these. I love them. I love the work across the warband here, bringing in all those colors, all the clean work on all of the details here. Love the basing as well, so all of the washes and things that we've used to kind of tie all the stone together and weather that. Got some grossness that the Skaven bases are always good for some grossness, bringing some of that in as well. But all this work on the skin tone, all of our metallic work, really lovely clean work here from Grim One, getting another Underworlds warband tackled, and that is 5 more to Grim and the challenges total. So well done getting those knocked out with the challenge. All right, next up we have Noob Painter, who decided it was zombie time. So we have 2 long rows of zombies for the challenge. I believe these are from Curse City. They may be available separately now. But new zombies from Games Workshop. Here's the before, and then here is our after. Look at these. I love the choice of the skin tone, going like the really kind of the heavier blue, especially at the recesses, looks really, really nice. And then bringing kind of the cream cloth. They work really, really nicely together, having the cool skin, that warm cloth, but still in the neutrals there. You have all of these details of them. Basically, the lore is like these stakes have gone through them, through the ground, so they're having to like carry it around with them. So you've got all these details here on the different ones. Oh, really nice work there, and then bringing this purple throughout too is really pretty. I like that a lot. Well done, Noob. So with the addition of 2 lines of zombies, that is 20 more miniatures out of the backlog and into our challenge total. Well done, Noob. Awesome job. Next up, we have Big Boss Blaztech decided to throw in some planes. These are for Aeronautica. I believe these were going to go to a convention, so we had to get them ready in time to leave for that. So we've got some orc planes. Looks like we've got primer and maybe a little bit of a zenithal or a dry brush here on some of them to get started. Here is our before. And then here is our after. So this was, Big Boss made a note that this is what was done before the convention time. So I don't know if the plan is to do more to them, but I wanted to make sure I include them because they look amazing. I love, love, love the flames on them and on the sides here. Very cool. Love the weathering, picking out all of these tiny details. These planes are so small, so getting all of these really lovely details is really impressive, Big Boss. They look amazing. I like the color scheme, still bringing the blue onto like the canopies too is a nice little pop with the red and the yellow. And then also working on all of the little spinners for the basing as well. So bringing the colors onto that and just making that look really nice and finished too. So it kind of a very cohesive unit with the bases also painted. So with this, Big Boss adds 8 to our total between those on the bases and those waiting for bases. Awesome job, Big Boss. Hope you had fun with the convention and them. Alright, next up we had Scorch Panda, who decided to pull out some pretty iconic Terminators, I think. These are the Space Hulk Terminators for the Blood Angels. So we've got a unit up here in front that is starting to get some color work, and then the rest of them are back here in the primer and waiting to go next. So here is where we started and where we finished. Look at these. I love that you've brought... Group photos can be really tough with so many miniatures, especially when they have so many little details. So I'm glad you did the kind of the raised base here so we can see them all. But here is a few of the... Oh, I didn't grab another photo, but here is all of the fun poses for this game. So we've got some claws here, we got some heavier weapons, we've got our Varian back there. All these details, all these cool colors. I love that you've pulled some of the purple across the different units too, so on the cloth, on the weapons, all of that. Really fun way to tie them all together, even though they all have these very unique different details and things with them. They look amazing, Scorch Panda. And with all of them, that is 12, but with those done, Panda also decided to add on to the challenge for the month. So keeping that purple in mind, Panda also decided to add in some Stormcast. I believe this is while we were waiting on Skaventide. So decided to try some different color schemes. Here it is with a few kind of just initial base coats and some dry brushing to kind of look at color schemes. Here is our before. And then here is our after. I love this color combo with like the pinky purple and the gold. Look really, really nice together. And then we tied in with this blue too. This really bright pop of blue is really pretty all together. But we can see all of the weathering that Panda has done. The dry brush work really brings out all of the details of the armor, the shields, really nice work through here. And then bringing the basing too, bringing that yellow with the basing with the pinky purple also looks really nice. So with those two projects together, Scorch Panda adds 17 to our total. Well done. Awesome job, Panda. Thank you so much for joining us. Alright, next up is me. I was inspired by Sly's challenge to immediately dive into Skaventide and decided to join. I've actually had the Finecast Jezzails for years and I never painted them. So I figured now is the time. Now's the time to paint some Jezzails. So here are my 3 from Skaventide. Before and after. I didn't do fancy photos for them, but decided to show them off this way. I've got the 2 here in the red. We got the kind of the beefier gun up front that I really liked. So there is from one side, and then that side you can see more of the little ratty that's behind the shield. But they are ready to roll for, I usually play Clan Scryer, so they're ready to go for my Skaven army. And I'm excited to finally have Jezzails. So even though I had to wait half the month, I am glad they are done. I add 3 to our total. Next up, we have Peachia, who also is diving into Skaven. It was a big month for Skaventide as the new box came out. So here is the Prosecutor still on sprue, ready to go. Here is our before. And then here is our after. I believe Peachia called them the Sancutors or something like that. Kind of tying in the Blood Angel kind of theme with our Prosecutors here. But I love that you've gone with kind of the Blood Angel theme, and then the wings, this pop of blue next to this red with this gold, really lovely work. Love that we've gone for kind of fall foliage on the bases as well to kind of tie into those warm colors on the armor. But these look amazing. So cool to see them like right out of the box, right at release here. Awesome job, Peach. Very clean work too. I want to go back to the wings. Look at all this lovely work. That blue right next against this white, next to this gold. That is that can be really stressful work, and that's really nice and clean and tidy there, Peachette. They look amazing. So Peachette adding a 3 to our total. Well done. They look amazing. All right, and then last but not least, we have Blonde Cow. Blonde Cow had a fun idea, and well, I'll go through it here. We have Cruel Boys, and they are getting ready for priming and things like that. Blonde Cow decided to hop in with Cruel Boys with a little bit of a play on words and make Yule Boys. So we've gone with a Christmas theme for the Cruel Boys, or the Yule Boys. And I think you can see the color scheme here. We've got red, we've got green, we've got the white. We've got, if you'll notice, and I'm trying to see if my next photo has some more of it. Before I move on, obviously the winter bases with our blue and our white and our snow. So this is the, I believe the first 10 completed for the Yule Boys army. And then here's a bit more of that detail work. So you can see here the candy cane striping. We love to see it. The bits here on the shield remind me of like ornaments as I'm looking through them. So bringing in more and more of the Yuletide cheer with the Yule Boys. I'm excited to see how this army grows, and I think, especially starting now, you could get a lots of Christmassy, wintry themes done before the holidays arrive here. And that is a wrap on our July challenge. Amazing job, everyone. So many miniatures completed. But how close are we to the 1,000 miniatures goal? If my counting and math is correct, I went back to add those 2 that I missed the initial pass. That is a total of 243 miniatures completed out of the backlog for July. With those added into our previous, we're now at 802 miniatures for this year. We took a huge chunk out of that goal. Got so many units ready for games. A huge thank you to everyone who joined us and watched the showcase today. If you'd like to join us for our next one, make sure to catch us over on Twitch. That link again is in the description. Like and subscribe here for more of our showcases, tutorials, and other work. Thank you so much for checking it out today. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.